do they need to put a pause in how they handpick those people and give them fame? Because different platforms now, because you're trending, you're for the wrong reasons, they want you in their space, so they too can also trend. So they are banking on those people who are clout chasers. So I feel like if they tone it down a little and ignore those people on their BS, things will really society really like clean up.
Local stories, global insights. This is the OyaGistme podcast.
Life totally gets boring when there's no gist to keep you going. My name is Chinedu Dego.
And I am Eglina Otu.
This is the OyaGistme podcast where we bring you local stories
with global insights.
Today on the episode, we're going to be discussing something very amazing, something I feel like you people will still want to share your ideas.
Of course, yes.
Yeah. So we're talking, is clout a new trend? We're going to be looking at, how Nigerian entertainment rewards, what's it called? Drama. I mean, so someone gets to do something silly and then they get rewarded for it. I'm going to target drama over skill. Bruh. So it's like looking into this topic, for me, the very first thing that came to my mind was one particular guy. What's that slogan? It's like, is it sweet? Is it sweet pie?
Okay, fish pie.
Fish pie.
Okay.
Yeah. So the entertainment industry have gotten to the point where we now reward people who trend for a particular reason, or say one silly reason they get to trend, and then the entertainment industry picks them and gives them fame.
Okay, basically, yeah, that's exactly what's going on. But I think for the fish pie guy, what even attracted or drew people to his story,
I mean, no excuse to him though.
Was the fact that people felt he was hardworking. At least he had something, he had a product to give out, and that was a way of selling his product out. Yeah, he had fish pie, he was selling fish pie, and somebody videoed him.
Somebody recorded
and then
him.
someone recorded to say, and then posted online to show that, okay, fine. I think why people started sending the guy money was because people felt, this is a Nigerian that, okay, maybe this is one reason or the other. Maybe he didn't further his education and didn't get a white collar job or something better to do. But with what he knew how to do best, he could still use, and that was a marketing strategy for him. Yeah, it was just, it was so, will I say, it was so amazing when I watched it. Like, how are you being shouting fish pie? Huh? And he wasn't even ashamed of it.
And he kept at it.
He just kept at it. That was what was giving him joy to do, and he could sell what he needed to sell. I think his whole story was kind of like
so it's a pity party story.
Yeah, it was actually a pity party story. People felt, oh fine, let's support this guy to do better. He knows what he's doing. Not like other lazy Nigerian youths. Not like other lazy fellows that don't have anything to offer. Yeah.
Rewarding drama over skill. I for one think we've gotten to an era where people who work hard to attain good results in school, work hard to contribute to society in so many ways, are being sidelined.
Of course.
Then we now have people who come on the Instagram to twerk or say something silly, and you have them trending for the wrong reasons. And then it deviates from that platform, and then you start seeing them in movies.
Yes. Easiest way to blow.
So it's clout at the end of the day. It's like clout now sells. So you trend for the wrong reasons, you're famous, people start celebrating you. For example, there's one particular guy, I'm not going to call his name, I'm not a fan. But the fact is, these people try so hard to stay relevant because of that one particular spotlight grace they got. So is this something we should really applaud? Or should we send people back to do their homeworks, and then come back and trend for the right reasons?
The thing is, I think you won't really blame them. As we earlier said, in
one of our shows,
the social media space is actually different. What people look out for is crazy things that don't make sense. Exactly, controversies, what keeps them moving. People want to talk, what's
in the lips of people.
Exactly, that's what people want. So I think those people, I don't know if they understand the social media space and they do those things to trend, because that's actually.
So, but why are we here? Is it the illiteracy thing, or is it that people are just desperate to be in the face of others for numbers? And then you now have companies and products and homes reaching out to them and say, hey, we want you on our show, we want you on our program, we want you on our on our music, our movie,
the wrong thing,
because you are trending.
Yeah,
so are we now doing things because we want to go famous, or because we want people to really see the message we're sending, we're passing across?
For some people, of course, because they want to go famous. Like a lot of persons don't care these days. You get, I don't care what happens. I don't care how it comes. I don't care what I do. I just want to see myself there. That's what a lot of people have. It's just very few persons that think deeply to say, oh, fine, I want to really put up something positive out there that people can see and learn from. But funny enough, those people, nobody
recognizes them.
Seriously,
Nobody sees them.
Nobody sees them.
Nobody sees the hard work they contribute. Nobody tries. Nobody engages them.
I think even at that, don't relent in doing that, because some way, somehow, somebody that picks that has an interest in what you do will surely surface someday. You know, when it comes to, okay, in a case where you are maybe an educationist, you know, you talk about maybe an inspirational speaker, you talk about things that you can share, things that can inspires other people, you know. I think the world is watching. You might feel people are not watching you, but I think people are watching. And that's how, you know, UN will call you for so and so thing someday. Somebody will just, like this Harvey girl, is it Harvey they call her? Harvey. Like the poet.
Okay, yeah.
Exactly.
No, yeah,
she's so good. And when she speaks,
that's talent.
Thank you, that's talent. But you went called her for something, and then she went. You know, you might feel, oh, and Clout is the new trend. But I think people are watching. People are saying you.
So you're saying at the end of the day, people are watching.
People are watching, even if they don't talk.
Yeah. So, but then do we think things are happening behind the scenes? Like the ones who are really working hard enough and contribute to society are, you know, getting there behind the scenes, and the ones who are clout chasing, who have no real skills, you know, they don't have any talent, but they're just famous for some silly reasons. They're more in our faces. So are we concluding that just because these ones are in our face don't mean that the ones who are really doing the hard work are not getting there? Because I feel like you need to be a busy person for you not to have time for social media. To be very honest, I feel like people are working hard behind the scenes and they're not clout chasing because they're doing the hard work.
Of course.
Then the ones who are out there talking all the time, being on the news all the time, they don't really have something going on for them. You
know what I still think is every era. I think there's an era to certain things you get, and this era will surely pass, and we are getting there seriously. Because before it was like you know, okay, let me leave the cloud chasing thing, let me digress a little. And you know back then it was all about, oh, go to school, study, you know, study, go to the university, get a degree, you know, and then later on, doctor. Exactly, it later changed to go to a prestigious school, travel out, go to a foreign university, we're going to give you a job, you know, get a job outside to do. It now later changed to get a skill. Learn something. Skill. Yeah, get a skill. Now it's like
so let us do something that'll make us trend.
Thank you. This era will surely pass. Now people, I think people are getting to realize because of shows like this. You know, people are getting to realize that there are certain things I shouldn't waste my time on. There are things I shouldn't do. There are things I shouldn't just come up with. You know, that doesn't make sense. You need to always learn to put a positive impact out there for people to watch and get. So I think this era will surely pass.
So I feel like social media has made it look like people with real talent are making it big than people with the real hard work, like we had said earlier.
Yes.
So do we agree with that narrative and then fly?
I don't think we should agree with the narrative.
Just because people are not seen on the screen.
Because people are not seen on the screen. I still feel, just do you. Just keep doing you. Someday, you see, let me say, okay, this should be a true life story, yeah?
Yeah.
Myself, I've actually never engaged in negative.
Okay.
From beginning, I used to be a pageant queen, you know, I came up with, oh, fine. Okay, I have this idea. I want to do this, I want to do that. I want to give back to the society, to the community, and I kept on doing that. I have a foundation though. And then, you know, at some point, it started changing from what the merit is to what you as a person or what they want you get. So people said, okay, fine, since I'm a beautiful girl, I have the shape, I can now do silly things for me to get to where I want to get famous. And then when people started discouraging me, why are you doing this? You know, you won't get anywhere. With this, you won't get anywhere. But I'm glad I didn't do otherwise. I still stood my guns to be like, no, I know what I want. I'm seeing it coming. Now today, if you ask people,
so that's you being positive.
Exactly, that's you being positive. It doesn't get you're actually going to suffer some
at some point. I mean, every single person
at
suffers
some
before
point,
you
of
get
course, because you didn't get you didn't exactly. hard work pays at the end of the day,
We
but
agree.
it gets very slow before you get to where you're going
Do you
to.
agree people are just desperate to blow? Is it a thing where people are desperate to say, like, let me do anything as long as I trend?
Exactly.
Is it eating deep into society right now?
It is.
Because you wake up every morning, there's one silly news, and then somebody said something, somebody did something,
It
somebody's trending
is.
for the wrong
People
reasons.
just want to blow. Like there was this time when this whole Yahoo Plus whatever came in place. Yeah. There was this little girl that was 16 years. She was in secondary school. I think then she was in SS1 or 2. And then she woke up one day and said, "Oh, because of social media influence, when you see things on social media and you feel, oh, more, this person is balling, she's traveling everywhere. I want to really be like this." She okay, they're actually two. There are two siblings from her parents, and they're good. Very young parents. You're comfortable. And then this lady woke up one day, or this girl woke up one day and said, "I want to make money. I want to buy Benz."
Ooh.
Yes, and like that. I don't know who she met. Some of her friends, they went to somewhere else and they told them what to do.
And they did it?
Yeah, she was even on the act before somebody caught her from another house. At midnight, she had to carry the whole incantation, whatever, and then arranged it at night when her parents were asleep. And she came up and her parents were choking. Somebody now saw light somewhere, like, come. That's how they caught the girl. Who told you this? You want to buy Benz at 16? Is that how life is? So people should understand. It's really eating deep into the society. You see, little girls in university are saying, "I want a bone straight hair of 500K." Like, I don't understand.
Like, how's that your priority right now?
Thank you. Like, I don't understand. How did we get here? So it's really crazy.
So do we think the entertainment world is encouraging things like this? Because you notice when someone does something silly, they get into the spotlight ASAP. So do they need to put a pause in how they handpick these people and give them fame? Because different platforms now, because you're trending, you're for the wrong reasons, they want you in their space. So they too can also trend. So they are banking on these people who are clout chasers. So I feel like if they tone it down a little and, ignore those people on their BS, society really like clean up.
Of course, society will really, it will really help the society, yeah. But on the other hand, I don't know if this will work. You get, people really want to make money so fast. When you're known, people feel, oh, fine, from social media. When you monetize your page, you get paid. You get money and all of that. You get fame, and people use you for adverts. You get lots of deals along the line. So a lot of people are just looking out
for what will blow them.
Exactly, what will make them have money. The economy is not smiling. Everyone is looking for how to make extra cash, to live well.
So there's this particular show that's trending online currently. It's desperate. I think it's Real Housewives of Lagos.
Oh, okay.
So this is a show where you have different women from different class and society space come together to throw claws at each other, and then the numbers keeps increasing. So do we think, this is a platform where people now, people do engage to see what the next drama is going to be about, because they are trending and they are giving them reasons, so they're putting up a show. So do we think this is now celebrities are now throwing claws at each other and then they are trending? So are they doing this thing or encouraging these people to fight at, argue, scream at each other, fight each other so they can trend? And why is it something that society should welcome? I feel like it's a problem, because if you keep showcasing this particular behavior of a human, what an ideal human being should be, you dent the image of a perfect human being, a perfect person who's a hard worker.
Yes.
It's like people now get it twisted. Young upcoming girls now have this idea that, oh, I need to be bougie and all shit, so I can jump into a show.
Of course, I need to be lush all the time. Yes.
So which is eating up deep into the society. I feel like it's not healthy for us. I feel like the entertainment industry has deviated from the idea of
what it used to be,
what it should
something
be,
else,
how the girl child should be, how the guy, the boy child should be, how they grow and be better representatives of the elders to us. It's like they do all these things and they come back and they're like, oh, you don't get respect, you don't respect us. How are we supposed to respect you when you come on national TV and you're throwing clothes at each other and you're saying the wrong thing?
True.
Now, looking into the entertainment world, we now have celebrities beef over something that is silly and then they trend. The numbers go up.
Yeah.
It's like we said earlier in one of our episodes, Wizkid and Davido, and then you have actors and actresses throw claws at each other. I always like to use the word throw claws because it's like there's always one beef that skyrockets them, in the news, which is wrong. So like you've forgotten that at the end of the day you have a talent you're supposed to project to the world, and then people see you for the good you bring rather than
for the good you bring.
Example of one of these persons. I remember when Tiwa Savage nude leaked.
So
it was one moment. So to be very honest, I'm going to say this. I feel like timing was incoherent with the song she was about to drop. I felt like
you felt it was an arranged.
I felt exactly. So look at Buju.
Okay.
The artist Buju. I think at some
Yeah.
point his sex tape did leaked and then the next minute there's a song up. It's like, let's do something so we can be in the news, and then we'll now project this. Why is that happening? And it's still happening to today. It's like, you do something wrong and then you trend for it. It's like,
people are always interested in fake news.
Why? Yes.
So it just makes
people are bored.
Wow. Yeah, people are bored, and they would just want to hear something that will spring them up and be like, oh wow.
So the economy plays a major role in this. There was a time our government used to reward people who were brilliant in school, people who
Seriously.
Once upon a time
in Nigeria.
Growing up back then, I remember when my dad would say, can't you see that this person is doing well in school? He's doing all the debates. He won in this debate, he won that debate, he's going for these competitions, and then they're flying them out of the country to go to some country to go go represent the country. And that used to be like what trended back then during our time. And then now, bruh.
Back then, during our time, we're always struggling to become best.
It was
what we do.
You have to get
like,
first in school.
Yes, first in
it
school.
Wasn't about.
Then you'd be like, Edu, no, Edu came first last year. Last term, you know what? This year, I'll show him Pepe in this class. You get it was all about competition for the right reasons.
Yeah.
Not now that when you see some celebrities online, you'll be like, this particular bag, this Fendi, I must buy it.
Yeah.
This Hermes Birkin, I must buy it.
Why?
You don't care how many million, what the amount of that bag.
To do anything.
Or you just like, this boss down wig. Damn, if I don't buy this bone straight, my name go change. People now compete for the wrong reasons, and it's really eating up the society so hard. There was this friend of mine one time that came. He's a very good photographer, and then he said, Lina, I'm going crazy. And I said, what's the problem? Like, he was like, wait, I've been working, my work is good, the outcome is nice, people love what I do, but then I still don't have the money. People are looking at me online and feeling
like
I
you're
have
doing
it.
good.
But within me, I know really I don't have this money. And I said, come, let's sit to talk. How would you think you are? When did you finish school?
Mm-hmm.
When did you, let's get back to when we're struggling. Mm-hmm. You can't compare or compare yourself to someone that's been in the game for years and expect that, because he's a celebrity photographer, you are going to get there. No. I think life is a step-by-step thing. It's one step at a time.
So you pick
little droplets of water makes an ocean. So I feel when you continue that way, in 5 years to come, people will know you for who you are. So don't just beat yourself so hard and feel you're not doing anything because of what you see online. So if you believe anything online at your detriment, you just go crazy and gaga for nothing.
So it beats the question: is scandal a quickest way to fame? Should it be the quickest way to fame?
It shouldn't be. But it is presently.
Why?
I don't know.
Unfortunately, my co-host cannot even answer that. So you leave the answers in the comment section because
I can't even answer that. It should be, but for now, it's not. And we know these things.
Yeah.
You get. We know these things. Like it's really crazy. It's really crazy. People are. I don't know.
So
people are just bored.
Do we agree that the economy is playing a major role in this? Because I feel like the more the people are out of school, there's no job, people are dependent on social media.
Exactly, they just want to keep their lives going.
So it's like if you're not doing something crazy on social media, you're not going to be popular. You're not going to get anyone to pay attention to you. So is it at the end of the day? Is it something that has to do with money? Is it money related? Are they chasing clout to make money at the end of the day? Because it goes beyond fame. For me, if you're famous and you don't have money, why are you famous in the first place?
But sometimes fame brings money brings fame.
So dirty fame,
it works that way.
So how is a reputable company supposed to work with you when your fame is ill-gotten?
That's why a reputable brand will not work with you, and they'll look for people.
Unless we're taking off the word reputable at the end of the day, because it doesn't work with it.
Yes, you find that for reputable brands look at people that can portray their brand. When you are a brand ambassador, you are a face of a brand. You talk about that brand, and that's why when you see which particular company am I supposed to use now? Let's just say when it comes to I'm trying to look for something to use.
I mean, looking at
I'm trying to look for a reputable company to use. A company cannot go and use James Brown to say, to represent their brand.
Well, I mean,
like people that want James Brown would contact him, especially when it comes to product sale, and that's where they fit in. So I feel companies already know who they would.
So is it about do they need these people to influence them? Because I feel like if you're already a company providing good services, do you really need this? Do you just handpick different kinds of influencers? Because at the end of the day, we call these people influencers.
Influencers, yeah.
So like, what kind of influencing do you want from them? Are you handpicking them in the right term or in the wrong term, or you just want clout at the end of the day?
No, I don't think it's even clout. When it comes to company and organizations, yeah, reputable companies and organizations. I'm always using the word reputable. Exactly.
That's very important.
You know, you won't just. It's not basically for clout. As a business-oriented person, there are business strategies you use to sell your brand to the world.
Yeah, marketing.
You know, marketing strategies. Now, if you keep calm or keep quiet, your brand will not be out there, even though
if you're giving the right
good.
Services.
No, if you're giving the right services, it's good, right?
Yeah.
But there are other marketing strategies you have to employ to be able to sprout out so well. To your service or product that you give out, you know. So I feel for that, I don't know, it's not wrong to use them, it's not wrong to use celebrities, it's not wrong to use celebrities, but at least you use the right celebrities that portray what your brand
is all about.
Exactly, it's all about.
So do we agree that influencers have replaced actors and musicians who generally back then in the days used to be the ones who represent the brand? Back then it was fun walking by a billboard and you see BBNaija representing a particular brand.
Yeah, and you'll be like, wow, you're like, what?
And then you want to use this person, you want to use that particular product because that particular celebrity was representing them. But now you have the likes of, should I say Tasha? No offense. You have the likes of Tasha and Nengi Hampson and the rest of them now on the billboards for different products, while our celebrities and our actors who have invested so much in the industry done a very good job.
They are celebrities in there because they are reality.
So should we call them celebrities? So I feel like there's always a conflict on the word
because they are known.
No, I feel like there's a conflict on the word celebrities. People who are celebrated should be called celebrities, and then those who are just always in the news for the wrong should be called influencers. So I feel like if we don't come to a term where we differentiate these two, class
categories
of
people,
there's always going to be a clash. There's going to be a conflict of interest. So should we now tell you all should do the correction. Influencers are different from celebrities. We should stop getting it wrong, I feel. I think I've always had that problem because this person is famous, you should call it a celebrity. Are you kidding me? And then somebody comes and he's like, oh, it's not easy being a celebrity. Who made you a celebrity? Do you get? To mention a few names, but I'm not going to even call out anybody. But I feel like they should sit back, do their homework, understand that they are not celebrated.
You just said this now. Guess who is in
Who came to mind?
Bobrisky.
I won't go down that road with you. I'm not ready for any
dragging. Of Lagos. So
that's the problem. It's like we give the wrong people reasons to trend. Then they abuse that privilege and they sit on some certain throne and they're now doing the most. And then you now start pushing those who have worked hard to get there. You sideline them, you ignore them and the hard work, and you put the wrong people up there. That is why we have a society that is cringing into ignorance as the day grows. It's like somebody. Okay, I'm not going to use the one I used earlier, the meat pie guy. There are so many of them online right now. Example, Cider Budge. I'm not discrediting what she brings to the table, but I feel like we give room for people like that to be in our lips every single time. If we can get to a point where we see them say things they say and we squat, we keep walking, people like them won't come up more. Am I wrong?
You're very correct.
It's like if you have something to say, share it in your speech and let's move on.
Yeah.
Don't hop on. Stop inviting these people to your events and shows and giving them platforms to start, because just because it works for